Hello friends, I am Dr. Amit Gangwal, Associate Professor in SVKM's Institute of Pharmacy, Dhule, Maharashtra. In this video, we will talk about how feature vector is prepared as input in terms of machine readable format, or simply how machines see molecule or chemical structures. We are discussing this in respect of artificial intelligence in drug discovery. So we all know AI for AI, that is for actionable insights only artificial intelligence is the option. No other way in present world is there to give you faster, ready to use, reproducible, actionable insights. So without further ado, let me proceed for this topic. So entire content in this video has been taken from online resources using Google as search engine. Authors have no claim whatsoever on the images or infographics taken from internet. We are thankful to original creators and copyright intellectual property rights holders. The image in this first page has been taken from this website cliply.co, and AI image has been taken from dribble.com. We are thankful to these two websites. We are also thankful to other resources we have mentioned in subsequent section. So we all know AI means machines, algorithms or softwares which mimics human intelligence. Machine learning is part of AI, subtype of AI, and machine learning is a system which learn from more and more data and past experience without being programmed in an explicit manner by the human expert. And deep learning is subtype of machine learning which is involved, which is basically based on the functioning of human neurons in nervous system. It uses different deep layers or hidden layers. So either it is machine learning or deep learning, we need two things, X and Y. X is input, Y is output. X is independent variable, Y is dependent variable or label or result or your output. So before proceeding for drug discovery, that is machine learning for chemical study and all those things, first we go to the general scenario. Suppose you have database of few persons or few people, and you have to categorize them into two classes, healthy or non-healthy, sick or ill. So data will be X, independent feature, that is input, Y will be label, that is output. Here in our case, the output will be, that is label will be of two types, either healthy or not healthy, or sick or ill, or a disease or patient. So on what grounds we will declare the person healthy? These are the ground. You have database. So from database you have removed something. You have extracted the feature, and then you are presenting those features into machine readable format, that is feature vector. So you see here in this rectangular box, which is a feature vector. Vector representing different features associated with the input. What is the input? Data of the patient or healthy volunteers. So what are the features? Age, for example, 40 years. Height or weight, 180 centimeters is the height, 82 is the weight in kilograms, for example. Blood pressure is 11 and 7. Heart rate is 70, and so and so. If these are the input, the label is healthy. So likewise, you will have a lot many rectangles. So these are the feature. So you have converted entire data into machine readable feature vector, because machines cannot go in detail. You have to give it proper data in a learnable fashion. Until data is proper as per machine learning model criteria, you cannot get full mileage or you cannot leverage the potential of AI. Another beautiful example of feature extraction, or how to represent data to the machine learning model before deploying the model for your problem. So this is a problem, how Gmail or other email providers categorize email into junk or spam email and genuine inbox email. Suppose you got an email, hello, do you want free printer cartridge? Why pay more when you can get them absolutely free? Just so this is your data, this is input, this is independent variable. So what are the suspicious content in this email? Based on that, the uh, based on this machine learning model of Gmail or other email provider decide whether the email is to be put into genuine inbox or in the junk or spam folder. Very interesting story. So what are the input features here? How many times in the email there is the word free? So in this email, in the email text body, there are 2 times the word free is being used. So it is suspicious. Free 2 times. See the f of x, the center matrix, you see free they have given 2 times. Then your name is missing. If they are giving something free to you, it means they should have genuine data about you based on your past purchase history or browsing history. But in this email there is no name of yours, so it is again suspicious case. So how many times your name is used? 0 times. Okay, so your name 0. Now how many times they have wrote wrong spelling? 2 times. Spelling of cartridge and spelling of printer. So they have done 2 mistakes in terms of spelling. Now is it from your friend? No, email is not from your friend, so 0. So these are the features associated with the input, that is email text body. So based on these features, the machine learning model which was trained for or in an unsupervised manner, this will be automatically a junk or spam email, right? So this is f of x, means your machine readable pattern. Another example is you have the image of 2, you have handwritten 2 or from this MNIST database. So you will study from pixel point of view. So likewise you will remove the feature from the input image. So inputs are feature values. Each feature has a weight, sum is the activation. So you have 4 features here in case of email spam or genuine email. Free, your name, misspelled and from friend. 4 input features are there. So you have to decide to which feature you will give more weightage or more weight. So you have to multiply input feature value with the weight. You will sum it using some statistical operation. Then you will convert to an activation function, and then it will give the output spam or genuine. This is general case how to remove feature from the input data and how to present those features through the machine learning model. Coming to next example, because this will be utilized for fingerprinting. Fingerprinting and smiles are 2 important type of molecular representation type for machine learning model. So on the left side you have one table type of content. Color is red, again red, yellow, green and yellow. Now you have to convert these spellings or words into machine readable pattern. So you will give a vector. So if there is red, you will show 1. If it is yellow, in the first row you will show 0 0. So you see second table and second column 1 0 0. If 1 is there in red column, it means in the first row only red is there, so other 2 things are 0. So 1 and 0 is a type of fingerprinting way to represent your input data. So whenever there is some correlation, you will represent through 1 or else 0. I read the lines. The value in the original data are red, yellow and green. So we create a separate column for each possible value. Wherever the original value was red, we put a 1 in the red column, otherwise 0. So we are converting text data into number data so that machine can read it. So it will be called a feature vector. Another example, because we know machine learning can do any type of task. If you have genuine, highly curated data and proper algorithm to set a machine learning model, then it can do any task. It can go for driverless car, it can design new drug, it can suggest the movie on Netflix based on your browsing history or based on your purchase history. or it can suggest you what type of shirt you want to purchase from Amazon or other e-commerce website based on your browsing history and your purchase history. So as I tell always, machine learning model training means 80% data processing, that is data collection, processing, pre-processing, curation, everything is called data processing, which amounts for 80% of the machine learning model training, and only 20% time or effort we give to final fine tuning of the machine learning model. So here we know image classification. If you are showing image of cat and dog or any of the animal after training, your machine learning model will tell you it is dog or cat or vice versa or anything else. So here the task is to identify a handwritten or printed number 7. You will show this image of 7 to machine learning model. It will identify, okay, this is a number 7. So on what ground? Machines cannot read images. Machine cannot understand or study images. Machine understands only number. So here, for example, in this image 7, there are 13 rows. 13 rows are there. Small squares are there, and there are total 13 rows. Okay, I tell you. This is 1, 2, 2, 3. Likewise, 13 rows. This is rows. Row 1, like this. 13 rows are there. In each row, there are few or some squares are dark, means something is there. So machine learning model is smart. It works when you treat in a smarter manner. So why to give huge amount of data? So these blank boxes are of no use to machine learning model, right? So you will tell that in first row there are total 5 different type of boxes which are different from rest of the boxes. So in this is the first row data. One means there are something in front row, in the first row. In second row again, second row, this is second row. This is square number 1, square number 2, square number 3, square number 4, square number 5. So on fifth square, there is something which is different from rest of the neighborhood of the, square. This is 1, right? So likewise for 13 all row you will do this. So then this will be the feature vector. This was your input, and what was the feature? This 1 and 0. So these are total 13 rows into different feature vector. Now this converted or modified feature vector you will give to this deep learning model, then you will get the result. This is what we are understanding right now. What we are learning this time, we are understanding how features are extracted and converted so that machines can understand in a proper manner. Because if you are showing image of, for example, Steve Jobs, if you are showing image of any of the person or animal, or image of yourself, image of mine to the system, then system will not understand image. System understands mathematical numbers only. So you have to convert your each and every data into numbers. So with this brief introduction, now we will talk about how machine sees the chemical, because we want to use AI for drug discovery through machine learning or deep learning. So one of the most important tasks in AI driven drug discovery is how you are representing your input. And in drug discovery, input means either the structure of proteins, that is receptor, that is target, or structure of your chemical molecule or compound or drug like molecule or drug candidate. So throughout the journey of AI driven, AI powered, AI mediated, AI empowered drug discovery, you have to train your machine learning model to understand, to read chemicals in terms of different feature vectors. So how we will do this? Featuring a molecule. In order to perform machine learning on molecules, we need to transform them into feature vectors. And we have just seen what is the meaning of feature vector that can be used as inputs to the models. So describing the model, most machine learning models require a vector representation of a molecule. How do we translate molecular structure into a vector? 3 approaches are there usually. Either to convert the molecule into its physical or chemical property, for example, the solubility of the molecule, acidity, or some other features. structural fingerprints representing fragments and properties of 3D structure. So these are called the features or descriptor. So different ways to represent a drug or chemical molecule. These ways are used to store and search compounds in different data repositories. So there are many applications of converting chemical molecule, drug molecule into machine readable pattern. We will see why it is important. Even for easiest operation through machine learning, you have to convert the molecular structure. So three main types are molecular fingerprint, also called binary vector, SMILES, that is simplified molecular input line entry system, and molecular graph. These three things are now in use worldwide for converting drug molecule so that machines can read those molecules. Gradually now things are moving down to molecular graph. Without any conversion, directly machine will learn things from your chemical structure. No need to convert into fingerprint or SMILES. But this will take time. But gradually now scientists or machine learning data scientists, they are using directly molecular graph, because directly machine reads from the graph. In another video, we will talk about molecular graph only. This video will be restricted to molecular fingerprint and SMILES only. So in case of molecular fingerprinting, extracting features from molecules, that is drugs, and feed it to your machine learning or your deep learning model for various type of tasks. In case of SMILE, here we have to convert molecule to text and learning from those text representation. In case of molecular graph, directly we act on a graph where nodes are atoms and edges show chemical bond between atoms. So we will discuss in another video what is molecular graph. Here, as I told you in earlier section, how spam folder is studied by the machine learning model, or how we converted the data of various patients into healthy and patient by feature vector. So that here we have fingerprinting. So 1 means some feature is there, 0 means that particular feature is not there. It is called fingerprinting because each molecule has only one fingerprint, like the zebra prints, like these stripes on the cheetah, I mean tiger, or our fingerprint, or our iris, that is biometric fingerprint. Similar, this is chemical fingerprints. No two chemical can have similar fingerprints if you are following same rule for both the molecules. It is SMILE, right? The second one. This image I have taken from In Silico Medicine, the leading and the pioneer in AI-driven drug discovery. This company's first AI-driven drug candidate is undergoing clinical trial in Australia for the treatment of rare disorder, that is idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Another way to represent the chemical is international chemical identifier, but this is least used. Mostly used are SMILES, fingerprints, and chemical graph. So very beautiful illustration infographics I have taken from this very beautiful this paper, Machine Learning and AI Based Approaches for Bioactive Ligand Discovery and GPCR Ligand Recognition. It published in Methods in 2020. It is around 21 pages. Review article is there. Very meticulously, very painstakingly, the authors have summarized the entire concept of machine learning in drug discovery. If you want to learn more things in a practical manner, you should read this article completely. So first is A, then B, C and D. A means molecular fingerprint. A molecular fingerprint encodes structural parts or motifs into a sparse bit vector. Sparse means there is 1, then 0, then 1, and so, depending on particular feature you are correlating. SMILES, as I told you, simplified molecular input line into system. So SMILES string encoding structural information of the molecule as well as its stereochemistry. Number C is 3D voxelization. What is it? A visualization of the 3D voxelization concept. Here, information about which atoms occupy which voxels would be encoded in the 4th dimension, which is omitted in this visualization. So basically it is used when you have to go for docking and other type of experiments. It is not much used, at least at this moment. Now D for graph encoding. I will discuss it in next video about this graph neural network or molecular graph or graph encoding. This another beautiful example. They have shown A, B and C different types are there. So as we know, computers do not process information that is not mathematically expressed. So computer process information which is mathematically expressed only. So we must mathematically express our molecules. For example, as I discussed, vectors carry information such as the number of hydrogen atoms connected, the atom's charge, the type of atom, for example 2, 2 and so on. Means feature vector describe the features or the descriptions of the physicochemical parameter of the drug molecule, or for example their biological features. So ultimately various features of the molecule which make it a particular molecule is called features, and to summarize them into machine readable pattern is done through making a feature vector. And at the same time, feature vector not only represent information about particular atom, feature vector also consider neighborhood system, neighborhood property of a particular atom. So fingerprinting was originally, so yes, what is the use of fingerprinting or smiles? Suppose you want to search, you want to find a molecule which is somewhat similar to aspirin or acetylcholine or dopamine or metformin. Suppose you want to search a new drug molecule which can be tested in detail for its effect in diabetes. So probably you will start with a molecule like metformin. So in databases you have to search a molecule which is like metformin. So how would you do? You should have some ready to use type of pattern you can convert into a machine readable format. So you need to go for fingerprinting or graph neural network or voxelization or smiles. But for quick searching in the database for a query molecule, you have two options which make your work faster, that is smiles and fingerprinting. Here I go. Fingerprinting was originally designed to solve the problem of molecular substructure search. How do I find all the molecules in my database with a particular substructure? A related problem is molecular similarity. Given a molecule, how do I find the molecules in my database that are most similar? For example, you have the structure of Taxol, a world famous anti-cancer drug searched by two scientists. One of them was Dr. Vani from India. In the structure of Taxol, there is a square type of ring, square lactone 3-member ring is there. So in database, suppose you want to find a chemical which is having a ring like Taxol. It means not entire Taxol structure, only the square ring of Taxol. That is, you have to go for substructural searching. Or you want to find a molecule which is almost identical to Taxol, means you have to go for molecular similarity. In both these cases, you need to go for fingerprinting or SMILE conversion of your chemical molecule. Only later were fingerprints applied for machine learning or what is traditionally called quantitative structure property relationship. Now, so you see here, you see the right image which I have taken from the resources originally created and shared on different social media platform by world famous Dr. Chanin Nentasinament, who is also called data professor. So you have on the right side you have two molecules, molecule 1 and molecule 2. You have converted them into fingerprinting, and fingerprints represent the descriptions or the main feature of the drug molecule. So this is the importance of fingerprinting. Now you can compare to fingerprinting. Then you have the data X of two molecule and Y means label or the result. So here Y has 1 and Y is 0 value. So if Y is 1, it is active, is 0, it is non-active. It is easy to show data to the machines in terms of vector or machine learning features are there. Another same example for simplified molecular input line enter system, SMILES. They have shown how SMILES are So this is our query molecule, or a molecule which is blockbuster available in market, and we want to solve something like this only. We have converted into fingerprinting. So all these operations can be done through various Python libraries. RDKit can do it, even OpenBobble. You can use many options available free of cost in the net resources. So this is now the query, and from databases like Campbell, PubChem, Zinc15, or for that matter DrugBank, you have to find a database, you have to crawl, you have to mine a database for this particular query compound. So you have three compounds which are somewhat similar to your query compound. So it is difficult to compare molecule to molecule, molecule to molecule, this one or that one. In that case, you can easily compare this fingerprint with this fingerprint 1, 2, and 3. So you can see this is the 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So this is the most identical, I think, right? Here there are 3, 1, 1, 1 in center. There are 4, but still this 3 is somewhat more similar to query compound compared to first and 2. This is the use, or this is the reason why we have to change into machine readable format. This is how similarity searching is done for a query compound using fingerprinting pattern or smiles from databases. So already we have seen, again I conclude, smiles is a string representation of the 2D structure of the molecule. It maps any molecule to a special string that is unique and can be mapped back to the 2D structure. Yes, there are various free to use machine learning options and Python libraries which can convert your smiles or fingerprints back to original drug or chemical compound structure. Sometimes different molecules can be mapped to the same smiles string, which might decrease the performance of the model. This is the limitations of the SMILE system. So for this reason, system suggests you the putative or reputed or canonicalized type of SMILE pattern which are unique for particular compound, and one should go for those canonicalized type of SMILEs only. Or for that matter, we can go for other option of molecular conversion, that is graph neural network. So it is difficult, but scientists now going for molecular graph only to train machine learning model to avoid redundancy or some chances like some missing of some descriptor or other issues. Another is fingerprinting. It is a binary vector where each bit represents whether a certain substance of the molecule is present or not. Each bit means each small square you have seen. If there is some color, if it is a black square, or if we mention 1, it means that particular bit or a small square represents something or some substructure or some feature, and it is not there, we will show by a blank square or by 0. This is fingerprint. The similarity between two molecules can be estimated using the Tanimoto coefficient. The same matrix is known in other domains as Jaccard index. So worldwide, for comparing similarity of two molecules, Tanimoto index is an undisputed or unchallenged type of formula to measure how similar two compounds are. Database similarity searches where the original motivation for circular fingerprints. It is another type of fingerprinting pattern, extended circular fingerprinting. It is somewhat difficult compared to this simple fingerprinting. We will see in next video, in which we will also discuss graph pattern. So, but later also help to flexibly extend the number of molecule features for machine learning. So this is the Jaccard similarity index, which is like Tanimoto index only. So with this we conclude the video, in which we have seen in first part how feature vectors are created and how molecules are converted into machine readable format. Thank you very much.